Today, we're going to talk about an ancient story that is, quite frankly, rather hair-raising. Its protagonist is a colossal creature with no fixed shape, struggling in a state of never-ending agony. Alright, let's jump straight in and see what this is all about. You see, the story opens with this single line, no bones within, no features without. Wow, just these 8 characters in the original give us an incredibly peculiar description. This phrase is taken directly from the original text. Doesn't it sound hauntingly eerie and full of room for imagination? Part 1. The impossible creature. So, what kind of existence are we talking about? The entire story begins with a truly unbelievable discovery. Try to picture this scene. By the seaside, the venerable Mojalyana discovers a massive being. How big is it? About the size of a house. And it doesn't have a form we would recognize. It is simply a vast, pulsing mass of living flesh, undergoing torments we can hardly imagine. This is one of the sufferings it endures when it is in the sea. Its body is relentlessly gnawed by countless small insects with iron beaks. Think about that sensation, itching and agonizing, with absolutely no end in sight. It is truly perpetual. And when the pain becomes so unbearable that it can no longer stand it, the creature leaps into the air. But do you think it ends there? No, the torment continues in the sky. Its body spontaneously combusts, turning into a ball of roaring flames. So you see, it is an infinite cycle of pain, moving from the sea to the heavens. Part 2. A seeker's urgent inquiry. Witnessing such a horrific sight, who was it that found it? And who wanted to find the answer? This person is the key figure in our story, Venerable Mojalyana. So, who exactly was he? Simply put, he was a disciple of the Buddha, who possessed a very special ability, the divine eye, allowing him to see everything within the 6 realms of reincarnation, from the hells to the heavens. His mission wasn't just to observe. More importantly, he wanted to share these true occurrences within the cycle of rebirth to help everyone understand the critical importance of the law of cause and effect. Naturally, Mojalyana had a huge question in his mind. What kind of terrible deed must one commit to receive a punishment that is so far beyond the human imagination? This was what he most wanted to know. To get to the bottom of it and help everyone understand the underlying principle, he decided to return to the Buddha and ask him to personally unveil the mystery.
Part III, the manager as secret crimes. Now, the Buddha begins to reveal the past life of this meatball-hungry ghost. The story goes back a very long time ago to the era of Kassapa Buddha. This is a tale of greed and betrayal. It turns out that this ghost, who is now suffering so intensely, was actually a chief manager of a monastery in his previous life. He held great power. All the funds of the Sangha, from donations to build stupas to the daily living expenses of the monks, were under his sole control. And that is where the problem lay. The Buddha explained that this manager committed 3 very serious sins. Embezzlement, he stole a massive amount of public funds. Nepotism, he took the stolen money and gave it to his relatives and friends. Malice, most critically, when someone discovered his behavior and kindly tried to advise him, he didn't just refuse to change, he became enraged. He thought to himself, HMPH, if I can't have it, none of you will have it either. Consequently, he set a fire and burned all the remaining assets to ashes. Part IV, a bill of karmic debt. This next section is the most core part of the whole story, the precise one-to-one correspondence between the crime and the punishment. This is more than just a penalty. It acts like a perfectly calculated karmic bill. Let us look at the logic. The mass of flesh, because he embezzled such a vast amount of communal property, he became an equally massive mass of flesh after death. The spontaneous combustion, because he set fire to those assets, his body now spontaneously catches fire. The iron-beaked insects, these correspond to the relatives and friends he supported with ill-gotten gains, people who were essentially like parasites. You see, every single punishment corresponds perfectly to the bad deeds he committed in the past. It is all settled, item by item, with total clarity. Part V, Ancient Legend vs. Modern Sighting. Listening to this, you might think, well, it as just a Buddhist story used to encourage people to be good. Right, but here is where it gets interesting. This ancient story seems to have found some unexpected connections in our modern world. It's natural for us to think this is just an old myth, right? But recent developments have made this quite intriguing. In the last few years, all over the world and especially in China, people have been discovering something very strange. It is a giant mass of living flesh that looks like a combination of a fungus and an animal. It has no obvious organs, yet it grows and moves. On the internet, people have given it a name, Tai Sui. Let us compare the two. The meatball-hungry ghost described in ancient Buddhist scriptures is a giant, shapeless mass of flesh with no features. The modern Tai Sui is a giant living entity with an unclear structure that even scientists can't fully explain. Look at the two, isn't there a startling similarity? In the materials we referenced, a Dharma master proposed this viewpoint. Science might not understand it yet, but the Buddha already understood it perfectly back then. He meant that while modern scientists might use scalpels to dissect and study it without being able to explain what Tai Sui truly is, if you look back at the records in the Buddhist scriptures, it seems a possible answer was provided thousands of years ago. So, we leave you with this question to ponder. When modern science faces a phenomenon it cannot explain, is it possible that an ancient story passed down for millennia can provide us with a completely different perspective? Is the connection between these two just a pure coincidence, or is there a deeper link hidden behind them? I'll leave that answer for you, the viewers, to think about yourselves.